All right, sweet. What do you think about the Super Bowl? Eagles, Chiefs. Eagles, fortunately couldn't get the job done. 38-35. I think you know where I stand on who I thought was going to win the game.
Yeah, Eagles defense choked pretty hard in the second half. But it was also a lot of really good scheming or like second half adjustments by Andy Reid with the offense, I think. He was able to get guys open in the red zone and got easy scores for the Chiefs.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I mean, like Patrick Mahomes, what can I say? Dude ran what? It looked like 50 yards on an injured
Hmm.
ankle, but nothing was
Yeah.
there. I'm like, how could he do that? Like I took my ankle so many times. That would be painful to run on it. Like in game, you
Hmm.
saw earlier in the game, like in the second quarter, like he one ankle tackle and how much of agony he was in. Like I did
Yeah.
not think he had that in him. So I mean,
Yeah.
I have to say on all fronts. I think a lot of the times like people get it mixed up like, oh, is it Mahomes or is it like because he had Tyreek Hill or is it because he has Andy Reid that he's developed so far? I think it's all of
Hmm.
it. I mean, I think
Yeah.
like how many players can you say like, oh, I had Travis Kelsey and Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill in my second season to throw to like
Hmm.
and create so much of spacing. I think that helps him a lot.
Hmm.
Sidetrack,
Yeah.
but I I think why not because of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes helping each other. Like maybe it's a
Hmm.
mutual interaction like that benefits the whole team. I think
Yeah.
I think people like get caught up in like the legacy aspect of it.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I think you're right. You're right on the Andy Reid part. Like the scheme, like I don't know if you saw like this one post on Instagram. Like the two touchdowns, one to Tony and one to Moore, same exact
Hmm.
plays. They just like it's almost like they pressed RT
Hmm.
on Madden on the same
Hmm.
play and threw it to
Hmm.
both of them for touchdowns. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was definitely. I think it's more so like a Chiefs comeback more so than an Eagles choke because they did score 11 points. It's not like they were completely shut out. I just think it
Hmm.
was like more so like their defense couldn't get anything done because the Chiefs' offense is that good.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, like Andy Reid is just the fact that he's able to scheme guys open and like throughout his whole career, he's been able to have like phenomenal offenses on the field, like no matter who his offense was really, and so helps a bunch.
Who do you think's the player to watch outside of Travis Kelsey and Isaiah Pacheco on this
Um,
offense going into next season?
yeah. Actually, I really like their backup tight end. Is it what's his name again?
Blake Bell
Not Blake
or Noah
Bell,
Gray?
Noah Gray. Yeah, I
Noah
think he's
Gray.
a really
Okay.
good because we saw like flashes of him like throughout the season, and he did really good. And um, I think that like the Chiefs will start to run more like two tight end sets just because they know how to like scheme tight ends open pretty easily. And so like
hmm
if you basically getting like similar offense production out of like the backup tight end as you are with like Travis Kelsey minus like Kelsey just being able to like body everybody. Um,
Good luck. Good luck stopping him. I remember telling the friend like after church, like if they can't stop Travis Kelsey, they're losing the game.
mhm,
Like if Travis Kelsey's going off for 100 yards, like 10 receptions and a touchdown, they have no
mhm,
shot. Because like
yeah,
how you can't defend him with one dude. I don't care who it is. Like I don't care if it's Jalen Ramsey. I don't care if it's AJ Terrell. You're not stopping
mhm,
him with one dude. You have to
yeah,
scheme to stop him, right? I
yeah,
I like your reasoning. I like your reasoning a lot. Um, I think I think where I disagree is like the player per se because I don't think Noah Gray is significantly better from what they have in the roster with Blake Bell, or Jordy Fortson. I think
mhm,
Fortson showed a lot like in the red zone and like what he can do opposite of
mhm,
Travis Kelsey, in early parts of the season. So I think it would be more of a rotation based on
mhm,
situation with that group.
mhm,
But I understand the reasoning where you're coming from because
mhm,
especially you saw like throughout the season, a lot of people are playing too high shells. You saw the announcers talking about that like over and over and over again.
mhm,
Um, but I think what it opened the door to, like what you preluded to, is like the two tight end sets because
mhm,
you could either run the ball or you could play
mhm,
action off of it. And you don't
yeah,
know if you have really good tight ends that both blocking and receiving, how
yeah,
that's going to play out, right? Because
mhm,
Like you can run the ball, and guess what? You have 7 blockers on maybe
Mhm.
like 7 in the box. That's an easy lane for the running back to get to the
Mhm.
second level, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, the chess match opens up the play action. Um, the linebackers get sucked in,
Mhm.
go to the tight end going behind them, right?
Yeah.
So I like that reasoning.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go more so with the receivers because I think where you saw Mahomes at his explosive sense, like early in
Mhm.
his career with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce,
Mhm.
where you saw him being like the magician of Patrick Mahomes is he had Tyreek Hill
Mhm.
and he knew how to use Tyreek Hill in spot. And obviously Tyreek got schemed open on some plays, but Tyreek is going to get open regardless because he's just
Mhm.
that quick and that speed. So then your next question probably thinking is like, who do I think is on the roster who that kind of speed or that
Mhm.
kind of explosiveness? And I think it's Kadarius Toney. I think
Yeah.
there's a reason they traded him from the Giants,
Mhm.
like for off-field reasons that I don't know. I don't want to speculate. The Giants said we don't want Kadarius Toney, and they're willing to trade him to
Yeah.
the Chiefs.
Mhm.
Um, I think it was a smart gamble for them to make the move based
Mhm.
on what I've seen with like how he played at Florida, his quickness, his
Mhm.
traits, his route running, extremely quick. You saw him the punt return, bro. He had no chance.
Mhm.
He had no chance once he went left. He was dead to rights, and then yet he
Mhm.
escaped out of it, sidestep,
Mhm.
almost like twisted his foot over and up, like, and he got them all the way to the 20-yard line when they're down by possession. Like,
Mhm.
okay, it's possible that Patrick Mahomes scores them for the touchdown
Mhm.
because he's Patrick Mahomes. He's the lead standard,
Mhm.
right? But just from that sense, I think having Kadarius Toney like flip the field on a punt return
Mhm.
showcases what he could do like on a screen
Mhm.
or like a bubble screen or like an end
Mhm.
around, like how much of
Yeah.
damage he could do from that set. He's not
Mhm.
Tyreek. He's not going to burn you for like 70 yards with his pure route running. He
Mhm.
makes his money off like run after catch like a Debo Samuel. And I think when you watch this next season and you see the evolution of like how teams will overplay Travis Kelce
Mhm.
and then hear the hype about Sky Moore and try to
Mhm.
overplay him as well. I think you will see Kadarius Toney make something out of nothing
Mhm.
repeatedly and repeatedly to the point where
Mhm.
he's the one being that offense.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think like the one concern like with Tony is just like injury concern, and so it's like that's really the only thing that can hamper him,
Oh,
and that's like
100%.
what he's had throughout his career so far is like a whole, and so.
100%. But I think that's the bet the Chiefs took on, right, when they traded for him.
Mhm.
And like injuries can happen to like any player at any moment.
Mhm.
But Tony's like a player like Michael Thomas where he gets that misnomer where he's injury prone. But I think the upside on what he can provide is there. And I think in
Mhm.
that development room with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, I think the thing that gets talked about least is like how how well the offensive players that are key cog are able to recover and get back on
Mhm.
the field. Like Patrick Mahomes, like look at Patrick Mahomes, he got injured. He still showed up. Like
Mhm.
the Chiefs athletic staff could have easily held him out. They held him out in the Jags game. They made Henny
Mhm.
play for one snap, and he was still ready to perform when called upon.
Mhm.
Like they still geared an offense around him despite of his
Mhm.
limitations. So I think the athletic staff and the injury staff will have a plan for how to mitigate Tony's injuries. Obviously, if it's serious, like if it's like an ACL
Mhm.
tear and Achilles tear,
Mhm.
that's definitely a risk you're taking when you traded for him. But I think the upside is there. Like he's a legitimate top 15 receiver in the NFL because he's in that offense.